നമസ്കാരം സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എൻ്റെ പുറകിലിരിക്കുന്ന ഈ ടാങ്ക് കണ്ടിട്ട് ഇഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടോ? ഈ ടാങ്ക് ഉണ്ടാക്കിയത് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു സുഹൃത്തായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു അക്വാസ്കേപ്പറാണ്. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഈ ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ അക്വാസ്കേപ്പറിനെ കുറിച്ചാണ്. പുള്ളി ഞങ്ങളുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പിലെ ഒരു മെമ്പറും, ഞങ്ങളുടെ അക്വാട്ടിക് ഗ്രൂപ്പുണ്ട്, ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പിലൊരു മെമ്പറും ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് വേണ്ടി ഒരുപാട് സഹായങ്ങൾ, ഏത് പാതിരാത്രിക്ക് എന്ത് സംശയം ചോദിച്ചാലും വളരെ നന്നായിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്ത് നമ്മുടെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ സോൾവ് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരുപാട് സഹായിച്ചൊരു വ്യക്തിയാണ് സാറ്. അപ്പോൾ സാറിൻ്റെ ടാങ്കാണിത്. ഈ ടാങ്കിനെക്കുറിച്ചും ഈ സാറിനെക്കുറിച്ചും ഒരുപാട് കാര്യങ്ങൾ നമുക്കറിയാനുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ വളരെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് നമുക്ക് വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് കിടക്കാം. സാർ നമസ്കാരം.
നമസ്കാരം. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for showing this tank, sir.
My pleasure.
Sir, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Nityanandan. I am from Chennai. I am a scientist working for Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research in the Oceanography Division. So I specialize in marine biology and ecology. And aquariums are a very serious hobby for me, especially planet tank and aquascaping. So I started aquascaping from the year 2012 onwards.
Okay.
And aquarium as a hobby, I started at a very early age, at the age of 8. Okay. When I received my birthday gift from my mom.
Okay.
The first the aquarium tank was a birthday gift for me at the age of 8. So it all started from there.
All from there. And slowly you
reached up to this point over a period of time.
So ഇതാദ്യമായിട്ടാണ് ഒരു സയൻറ്റിസ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു മറൈൻ സയൻറ്റിസ്റ്റിൻ്റെ കൂടെ എനിക്ക് സംസാരിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു അവസരവും ഇത്രയും ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട്, വളരെ ചെറിയ കാര്യങ്ങൾ വരെ വളരെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു തരാറുണ്ട് സാറ്. നമുക്ക് എല്ലാം ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് 1 by 1 ആയിട്ട് ഓരോന്ന് വീതം നമുക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. സോ എല്ലാവർക്കും നമ്മുടെ വീഡിയോയിലേക്ക് ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടി സ്വാഗതം. IAPLC പറ്റി 2 വാർത്ത പേഴ്സണലാണ്.
കണ്ടിപ്പാக. ஸோ IAPLCன்றது இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் அக்வாட்டிக் பிளான்ட் லேஅவுட் கான்டெஸ்ட். இது அக்வா டிசைன் அம்மானுன்ற ஒரு கம்பெனி இஸ் கண்டக்டிங் இட் ஃப்ரம் Japan. It's an international contest.
Okay.
And it will have entries from all over the world. And it is conducted every year during May. And the results are released during October or so, by end of October.
Okay.
So it is the most important contest for planted tank hobbyists, aquascapers in particular. So this is a contest where most intense competitors are there for getting the top position.
Okay.
So it is always not easy to even come under top 100. So and leave alone 100, even top 1000 itself is difficult. So it is a stiff competition. So abdi irukumbodhu, because like more than in a year on average more than 2000 entries are there. So abdi irukumbodhu it's a huge competition. And in the competition patti innu further sollanum appadina, you have to set up a planet tank and it should be a novel design. You have to design a layout and it can depict even a landscape or an underwater an aquascape, whatever it is, it's up to you. But you have to think of a very unique layout and present that idea in this planet tank. So when you set it up, and they have some rules and regulations for evaluation. It is based on the design, the novelty of the design and layout and also how long you can maintain that layout. So some layouts are too complex, just for the sake of pushing it to the extreme limit. Many aquascapers try some extraordinary designs, but they don't get high ranking because the judges see in a different angle whether it can be maintained for a longer duration or not. So like that there are several criteria for evaluation, and based on that you will get the points. And they will release the results by end of October. And the top 100 tanks will be on YouTube, and the top 10 entries will get the prize.
Okay.
So it's a very prestigious competition. It's like the Academy Award for aquascaping. So,
from Kuwait only 2 guys are selected. What's your score and how you are?
I ranked 753. Okay. And another aquascaper friend of mine, he ranked 203, I think. So we are the only 2 aquascapers who submitted for this particular competition, IAPLC, and probably we are the first one to submit from Kuwait.
Kuwait.
And it was a great experience. it was a very big challenge also to achieve the best results and within a short span of time.
Okay.
So, but I didn't really bother about the ranking. For me, entering in a prestigious contest like that was very important as an aquascaper. And also the experience I gain out of this contest, and also top 1,000 itself is very difficult.
Okay.
So it by every year you have scope to improve. So you have to keep trying.
Like the mistakes from this tank. Next
time you have to correct those mistakes. And improvise, and you have to present your novel ideas in the layout. And that gets the highest ranking.
So if you see this tank, so many things are there to learn from this tank. So first you started with the landscaping, right?
The hardscape, basically. The layout and the hardscaping.
So here you put dragon rocks, and right side also dragon rocks, and on top of that these plants you attached. Okay. So this, what kind of plant is? Can you explain the individual plants?
Yes. On these dragon rocks, you have Agrophila pinnatifida. These are epiphytic plants. That means they just attach on any rock and they grow.
Okay.
So I just glued them with super glue.
Okay.
In order to achieve this kind of an effect. So once they become bushy, it looks very natural. So this entire layout, I just synthesized the idea first, and I started sketching it.
Okay.
Because I was inspired by some cave-like landscapes.
Okay. So first you designed it first, right?
Yes.
In sketch paper, sketch, and from the sketch you.
Because my inspiration is the Japanese aquascaper Takayuki Fukada, who's an IAPLC champion. So some of his aquascapes, especially the cavescapes, were very unique. So I was inspired by those kind of layouts, and I started building this idea. And I bought these rocks, and it took almost 3-4 months for me to glue these rocks together and build the hardscape.
Okay. And this side also you can see Monte Carlo.
Yes, and this side is again another carpeting plant called Monte Carlo. Usually this is a plant which grows on soil.
Okay.
Which is a ground carpet ground cover plant.
Friend.
But the current trend is many aquascapers have broken that barrier. That ideology has changed. But if you try to attach it to a rock, they trail. They grow down.
Okay.
So it gives a very natural feeling, especially
kind of a weeping.
And in this kind of layouts, it looks very natural. It gives a very natural feel. So this is one of the reasons why I've chosen this particular plant. Okay. Although there are other plants like mosses. Mosses are also there in this tank, but this has a stronger impact.
I think this is moss.
This is weeping moss and Christmas moss. Okay. But in Monte Carlo is a very vigorously growing plant.
Okay.
It grows very quickly.
Once it's attached properly.
And also it requires frequent trimming.
Okay.
What happens is when you don't trim properly, the bottom layer will start turning brown.
Okay. Because of the lack of
light. So you have to keep it trimmed as a thin layer. And also if you do the differential trimming, like in different lengths you trim, then they will trail very beautifully and it will look very natural.
Okay.
So this is how you can grow Monte Carlo on a rock.
Okay. If you see this tank from the front, you can see so many sand like bottom.
This one.
But that is only front part, right?
Yeah, this is the front part. This is cosmetic sand.
Okay.
Just to create a shore-like effect.
Shore-like effect. And other sides, there all soil is available.
Yes, I've used ADA version 2 Aquasoil. Aquasoil. Okay. So without soil, it is difficult to grow these plants.
What about the other equipments? Like there is 2 filters. And thermometer. Then CO2 checker. Then what else you are using for this? I think Dr. Algae also.
That is Twin Star Nano for controlling the algae.
Okay.
So this is a high-tech setup. Basically, all the equipments are here for whatever is needed for a planet tank. And also, when you have a setup like this, it's easy to achieve these results. Otherwise, it's impossible to achieve this, because you need to have all these accessories in place.
Okay. Can you explain about the CO2 and the light, the relation between that?
Yeah. See, plants need two important components. One is light and one is CO2 for photosynthesis.
Okay.
To fix the carbon in their body. So this light and CO2, if there is no balance, then photosynthesis will not happen.
Okay.
Suppose you have a strong light and you don't have CO2, plants will suffer. They cannot grow. So they will survive, but they will not grow. You will not see this kind of vigorous growth. So when you inject CO2, the process of photosynthesis happens.
Okay.
So when this happens, then you will see the oxygen bubbles on the leaves.
Now it is started coming, yeah.
So this is called pearling. Pearling.
Okay.
So you can see the oxygen bubbles because it is releasing the oxygen.
Releasing the oxygen.
So
everything is optimistic.
Everything is in an equilibrium. So when you inject CO2 in a planted aquarium, so this is achieved. And because of this, the growth will be vigorous.
Okay.
Not only because of this, there are other parameters as well, like the nutrients,
fertilizers
and everything. But the key factor is this.
Okay.
Without carbon dioxide, a planted tank, you will not have very good results in terms of having the lush growth. It will be very slow.
Individually, this light and CO2 and fertilizers, all the parameters need to match.
It's a very delicate balance. Everything has to come hand in hand.
That's the difference between like we are fishes and fish tank and aquascaping.
So in an aquascape, see, you cannot ignore the fishes. They are the main components actually. The thing is, we are building a very comfortable home. They feel at home, and they'll live longer as well, a very healthy life. So that is what can be achieved through an aquascape.
So those who guys don't know where is CO2, the left side you can see, can you spot it? That is the CO2 bubbles. So from there the CO2, and right side if you check thoroughly you can see that is doctoral.
That is the twin star.
Can you explain?
Nano. See, it is basically working on the electrolysis principle, So it is kind of releasing more oxygen into the water and trying to control the algae growth in the planted aquarium. So especially in the initial phase when you set it up, you will have a lot of algae issues in tank in a nude setup. So when you have this kind of equipment, it will try to arrest that at a very initial phase itself. So then by correcting your water parameters and also your dosing regime and everything, you can bring the tank to a balance at a very early stage. So it is a very beneficial equipment, I would say, and it does the job very effectively.
This CO2 checker is there for the
drop checker.
So that also always we need to check this CO2 levels, right?
When the CO2 starts mixing in the water column, a couple of hours later you will see the drop checker's color changing from dark green to pale green, somewhat lemon green. So that is an indication that you have the right amount of CO2 mixing in the water column. And also if there is proper circulation in the tank, the CO2 will mix properly. And everything will go hand in hand. Then you will see proper pearling. And when there is good mixing, then you will see the drop checker color changing also. So because the optimum range of CO2 is there in the water column. If there is no proper circulation, then you cannot achieve this.
I heard that half an hour or 1 hour before the light, CO2 must start, and then the light.
In this tank, for example, the CO2 starts 1.5 hours before the light starts. And it ends 1.5 hours before the light stops. So the reason why is when you start CO2 earlier, it will start mixing in the water column. So water gets saturated with CO2. When the lights are on, immediately what happens is the photosynthesis process kickstarts. So then everything comes to a balance. When you do that, what happens is once the photosynthesis starts and the tank kind of reaches its optimum level of photosynthesis very quickly.
So
And also you don't need the CO2 to run for the entire photo period. You know, it can stop like 1.5 hours earlier, and then after that CO2 is almost completely saturated in the tank, and then slowly the photosynthesis process will drop down, and the light can switch off.
So how many hours normally this light and CO2 must
6 hours.
6 hours.
6 hours is more than enough.
Okay.
It's optimum. 6 to 7 hours. I run for 6 hours in this tank.
That is one of the major important thing, right?
Yeah. This is a very crucial parameter in the tank. No CO2, no results.
No results.
So only with CO2 you can achieve this kind of results.
Then only the plant will get the enough parameters for the survival and growth.
Yes, there are low tech setups basically which run without CO2 with low tech plants. It is possible to have tanks like that. But when you wanted to have an high-tech setup with lush growth, you need CO2.
Okay. So in this, I think Monte Carlo and the other plant, can you spot the plant that will consume more CO2?
Okay, in terms of CO2 consumption.
Yes.
Okay. See, here especially, Rotala.
Okay.
The Rotala will consume more.
Okay.
And of course, mosses, they're also very demanding. Okay. Not all, but certain variety of mosses. And many carpet plants are very demanding in terms of CO2. Without CO2, you cannot achieve a good carpet. Okay. Even Monte Carlo, for that sake, if you don't have CO2, Monte will not perform well. So
I have personal experience with Monte Carlo. Yes,
it will struggle for sure. So, but some of these epiphytic plants, for example, Anubias and Bucephalandra, they are not so fussy. Even without CO2, they are fine because these are low-tech plants.
Okay.
But with CO2, they will still grow very well, and you will see they are very healthy and they grow very quick.
And next important question: so many beautiful fishes are there.
Yeah.
So can you please say a few words about that fishes?
Yeah, of course. So the most iconic fish in this tank is this naked rasbora, one with a red color face.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful fish, and it's a nice shoaling fish.
Okay.
And it's a very good candidate for a planet tank. They are very suitable for planet setups.
Okay.
And also another interesting fish, the bottom feeder, this one, the Garra.
Okay.
They are very interesting fishes. They hang out in a group, They're always feeding at the bottom.
Okay. Can you please compare with Otto and this fish?
Yeah, see, Ottos are, they are mostly feeding on algae. Okay. Garras have a kind of a preference for a wide variety of food, but Ottos prefer more algae in their diet, I think.
Okay.
Garras also feed. It's not that they don't feed on algae, but Ottos are constantly cleaning on the tank walls, the algae, and also they feed on the microfilm, the bacteria.
Okay.
So these fishes are very interesting. They are very peaceful.
Okay.
Good candidates for a planet tank and also for a community aquarium.
Okay.
These are all like almost adults, sub-adult to adult stage,
But it's small in size.
Small in size, and they might grow a little bit bigger, but not much.
Okay.
But they are, especially Garra, they are thriving on slow-moving streams. Some are in fast-moving streams also. So they love the water flow. When there is a strong flow, they like it very much. And here, if you see, these guys play another crucial role.
The shrimps.
Yeah. These are the Neocardina shrimps. This is called Bloody Mary. It's red in color. And there is another shrimp called Amano. So he's hiding somewhere here.
Amanos are number one
alligators. So in a planet tank, they are a must. And shrimps, of course, they are the most attractive organisms in
but
a
the thing
tank.
is like how much shrimp we put, they will hide it somewhere.
But if the population is always developing day by day, if you have a huge population, initially if you had a few, then if they have settled down very well, if they are happy with the water parameters, they will breed intensely. So you see this tank, you see shrimps everywhere.
Every time.
There are hundreds of them in this tank. So, but it's not a good idea to mix colors because what will happen is there will be inbreeding. So they will lose the color.
Yes.
So it's always advisable to keep only one color. One type of color. One type of like either red or yellow or blue, but don't mix it.
Aminos are without color, right? Like they are
Amanos
transparent.
are kind of transparent. They don't have a color. And these guys have a strong
And
color.
they won't breed each other.
No.
Okay. Interbreeding is not there.
It's
between
not
them.
possible.
Yeah.
No, it won't happen.
Okay.
So this is two different varieties of shrimps.
Okay. Wave maker.
Wave maker.
Okay.
For the circulation.
Circulation.
To achieve the circulation. Because of that only, CO2 gets mixed properly. Because it's a big tank.
Okay.
Although there are two filters running in the opposite direction, still sometimes because of the hardscape, there will be hindrance in flow.
Oh, okay.
So you need a wave maker to achieve the flow.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not necessary. It depends on the hardscape.
Can you please tell about the snails that you put in this tank?
Yeah, snails, they are a very common problem in a planted tank. Whenever you buy plants which are grown in immersed condition, which are just kind of grown out of water in farms, and very high chances of having snails, and snails will deposit their eggs in the leaves, okay?
And one snail can produce multiple, its population will become...
Yeah, when you plant those type of plants without any treatment, they will just spread all over the tank and they'll start multiplying. To avoid this snail infestation, you have to dip in 1% potassium permanganate solution before you plant. So then it will be fine.
It will fine. The eggs all will get...
Yeah, eggs all will be killed completely. So there won't be any snail. This is one procedure what we follow. But other than that, if you buy tissue cultured plants, there is no problem.
Okay. So even that plant in the top itself, they written that it is...
They are snail free and algae free, and they are very robust also. Initially, from that tissue culture phase to convert itself into that submerged phase, it will take a little bit of time for the plant to settle down. So once it settles down, then it will grow vigorously. These plants are all tissue culture plants. Yeah. This is from Tropica. So they grow very intense.
Can you please tell about the red plants in the aquarium?
Yeah. Okay. See, the only red plant in this aquarium is Rotala HRA.
Okay.
So Rotala HRA, initially it's somewhat greenish in color. With intense light it turns red, and also with iron dosing. You have to dose with iron.
More iron, right? Okay.
And in order to keep them in the same level of redness, you have to continue iron dosing, and also you have to limit nitrogen. If you limit nitrogen, then what happens is the iron, the red pigment gets really intense.
Okay.
This is nothing but a kind of photoreaction. Plants turn red because how we get tanned in the sunlight. It is very similar to that. Human eye is attracted towards color, so now everybody wants a red plant in the aquarium.
Yes. And
to create a contrast.
Most of them unable to achieve that result.
Yeah, it is very difficult to achieve in certain setups because there won't be any balance in the nutrition. Especially you will be dosing, but you won't be dosing this iron properly. And limitation of nitrogen has to be taken care. If you have a very poor lighting, then you can't expect it to turn red. So nowadays, like there are some special varieties of Rotala, which are one variety called blood red, which is fully red in color. You don't have to put any extra effort. The plant itself is reddish in color.
That is different.
Yeah, it's a new variant, a new variety they have developed called blood red. So nowadays everybody is obsessed towards
red plants.
Red, pink, and different colors are coming out. But based on this kind of interest, even there are high-end lights available in the market now to achieve that kind of pigmentation. But this is not something very natural. In nature,
because it's a green in color.
Most of them are green. Some of them are also reddish in color. But this extraordinary red, extraordinary pink, and all is not very common. It's something that we want to achieve. Because our eyes are attracted towards that color. So we do. But there's nothing wrong. It is a trend that many aquascapers are following now, and also there are very good lights available in the market now to achieve these kind of results.
And if I'm not wrong, this is a flower.
Yes.
Can you please?
This is a plant called Bucephalandra from Indonesia.
Okay. It's epiphyte.
Yeah, it's an epiphyte plant. Like it is attached to the rock. I just attached it with the super glue, so it grows without any trouble, and it produces flower at a particular season. All the views will be flowering. When when there is a stable condition in the tank, and when the nutrients, everything is in a balance, they start flowering. Okay.
So guys, for achieving this, this plant to flower, it's a very difficult task, and in a very good tanks only we can see.
You need to have a balance.
Yeah, and now one question raised in. See, we are giving artificial the seasons,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
So how they will find it, like it's time to bloom and time to flower and all those things?
The thing is, like, it's all based on nutrition,
Oh.
I think. So it's also the temperature, the nutrition, and it's a very delicate.
Because season, in the sense, the temperature will change, and
Yeah.
all the light parameters will change.
Yeah.
But we are giving everything ideally in the tank. But
Yeah.
how the plant, if you
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. The nutrition has to be in a balance. It's not only the light, it's not only the temperature. It's a very complex setup. Any one particular parameter is not appropriate. It's not in a balance. Then you will not achieve this. Even Anubias, for that sake.
Okay.
Anubias takes a long time to flower. I personally believe Buse is a bit faster than Anubias.
Okay.
Anubias is very slow.
Very slow.
Very slow.
The Anubias itself is slow growing plant.
It's a slow growing plant. But nowadays there are a lot of varieties now in Anubias. So this is a rare variety called Pinto.
The
Variegation in the leaf, you can see the color. There are so many. I have a very small Anubias here called Anubias chili, but you can't see it properly. See the small leaves here.
Okay.
So this is the smallest Anubias in the world.
Oh.
It is from a company by name Dennerle, a German company. They sell this Anubias.
Okay. And next, can you please tell about the lights?
Yeah. Cheerios is the name of the light. This model is Vivid 2.
Okay.
This is a very popular light in the aquascaping world, especially many professional aquascapers go for this light because of its power, and it's also it's controlled by an app. It's Bluetooth,
okay.
controlled, and you can play with the intensity of the colors like red, blue, and green. And so with that,
this light is only for the aquatic plants.
For aquatic plants, it's been designed for that purpose.
Okay.
And it does the job very effectively. And, it is one of the top rated lights in the world, and still very popular in the market. Now there are better versions available. The next version is out already, so that is also getting popular day by day.
And there is one thing, like the shades is very important. Like if you put the light, because of the plant, the lush growth of the plant, the other plants also want to get the proper sunlight. Proper aquatic light. So you arranged, I think you arranged plants in that Anubias you kept in a shady region, and that is
because it doesn't require the strong light. And it kind of hates strong light.
Anubias,
actually. It tries to grow only in shady areas. In shady areas they perform well.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why I planted all the epiphytes in shady parts of the aquarium. Because if you see this plant especially, this grows very vigorously, and it tries to create a shade very quickly. So Anubias takes advantage of that. Even Buse also.